Hi, this is Satya Kathivel from Tamil Nadu State of India. I am addressing this video message on 26th August 2026 to the Honorable Islamic country leaders of UAE, Turkey, Qatar, Egypt, Jordan, Kuwait and all Islamic country leaders and all other country leaders whoever have a good friendship with and a good oil business relationship with Mukesh Ambani family. This video message is mainly about my request to all addressed to country leaders to please take my 23 pages of my email message which I had sent on 5th August 2026 which is directly addressed to Mukesh Ambani and Shloka Mehta and Anand Ambani and all family members of Mukesh Ambani family with the true facts and evidences of overall case of my family issues for the main motive to stop any further forgery email evidence crime attempt and any further crime attempt in my EY case by Anand Ambani where he is doing these repeated high sensitive crimes in my EY case due to blind support which he is giving to the most filthy psychically obsessed sexual crime accused named Sohan Perisami and he is connected to main criminals of Nachathal murder case named criminal Sivakumar Velusamy and criminal Shanmugam for the one and only reason that Anand Ambani have close friendship with this psychically sexual crime accused criminal Sohan Perisami. The main reason for addressing this video message to all addressed country leaders is mainly because my family of my widowed mother and myself and my elder sister have been extremely suffering, very extremely suffering for past solid 4.5 years due to never-ending high-sensitive crimes done against my family by Anand Ambani, which he is doing in blind support of this most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused named criminal Sohan Perisami and is connected to men criminals of Nachathal murder case named criminal Sivakumar Velusamy and criminal Shanmugam for the one and only reason that Anand Ambani have close friendship with the criminal Sohan Perisami. I would like to again highlight that this is not just 1 year or 2 years, this is for past solid 4.5 years since the illegal termination of my EY company and even before the 2nd July Delhi police murder attempt and the India post forgery crime. My family of my widowed mother and myself and my elder sister have been very extremely suffering for past 4.5 years due to never-ending high sensitive crimes of Anand Ambani which is doing in blind support of this most filthy, psychically obsessed and sexual crime accused Sohan Perisami. The main reason for highlighting this point is to the addressed country leaders that no woman victim in this world would be able to tolerate such high sensitive crimes and sexual crimes and brutal physical attacks and repeated sensitive crimes in her professional career by these three sexual crime accused which they are doing by using Anand Ambani. No woman victim would tolerate in this world. That's why I thought it's very high time that some country leaders with humanity should empathize the extreme suffering of my family, of my widowed mother and myself and my elder sister and should take the true facts and evidences of the overall issues which we are facing with the evidences to the direct attention of Mukesh Ambani and Shloka Mehta and Isha Ambani and other family members to completely stop any further crimes, mainly in my EY case and any other crimes against my family by Anand Ambani which he is doing in blind support of this main criminal Sohan Perisami. First of all, I would like to convey my wholehearted thanks to the Islamic country leaders or whoever has spoken in support of me with facts and evidences which I had attached in this email to any of the Mukesh Ambani family members. I think Honorable UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan sir and any Islamic country leaders have already taken efforts to speak in support of me. But I really genuinely request all addressed Islamic country leaders to please speak in support of me and what I do not expect is that I do not want any particular single Islamic country leader alone to take the efforts from me. I deserve 100% genuine joint voice of support from all addressed Islamic leaders, whoever it may be. Some of the Islamic country leaders might not be addressed with their photos in this. Any Islamic country leaders or any country leaders who have a good friendship and good oil business relationship with Mukesh Ambani family can speak in support of me. Yeah. Okay. So So this is the 5th August 2026 email which I had sent at 5:54 p.m. This is the 23 pages of my email message which I had addressed to direct attention Mukesh Ambani and Sloka Mehta and Anand Ambani to stop any further crimes in my UAE case. So first point I want to highlight the addressed country leaders is that I think all addressed country leaders would have daughters. Also Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani who are of mature age now. Mukesh Ambani in his 70s and Nita Ambani in his 60s. They also have a daughter of our age group. Since I had mentioned that we had been, myself and my elder sister who have lost our father before 12 years have been facing solid past 4.5 years of never-ending high sensitive crimes from Anand Ambani, which he is doing in blind support of these three, this main criminal, Aswal Perisami. For 1 second, for at least 1 minute, I request Mukesh Ambani and Rita Ambani to please empathize our suffering, whether you would accept any such person doing such repeated sensitive crimes in the professional career of your daughter and doing sexual crimes against your daughter, of circulating the bathing videos and naked videos and doing brutal physical attacks against your daughter. Would you be able to accept? Just for 1 minute I request Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani to think about that. See, the love of a father and the love of the mother, there is no difference between rich people to poor people. The love of the father and the pure love of the father and mother is exactly the same, ranging from top rich people to the poorest people who doesn't even live with the houses, who lives on the streets. The love of the father and mother is the same. Nobody would accept and tolerate somebody circulating bathing videos and naked videos of their daughter just because that person wants to make his close friend happy, where his close friend is the most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused, which is the most filthy sexual crime accused Aswal Perisami. So at your mature age, Mukesh Ambani, Nita Ambani, I think you would not say anything like only the top rich people will have that anger, should get anger when somebody does sexual crimes against daughter of circulating any such bathing videos or naked videos or doing brutal physical attacks, and the upper middle class and the poor people should not, such parents should not get anger when such a sexual crimes, and the widow brother should not get anger when such a sexual crimes is done against their daughters who have lost their father by our son like Anand Ambani or anybody. You cannot say like that. That's why I am asking Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani to please empathize the suffering of a widowed mother and her 2 daughters who have been facing such crimes from these. Anand Ambani, I have even mentioned that Anand Ambani is not a person who would like to do some sexual crimes against anybody. What I am clearly saying is that it is the most filthy, psychically obsessed, sexual crime accused Aswal Perisami who is extremely misusing his friendship with Anand Ambani just because Anand Ambani likes him very much. He has been extremely misusing Anand Ambani to install illegal advanced micro secret cameras in a village house and a rental house, and had 24/7 they had been seeing us like some entertainment thing, and since we are wearing clothes and then taking bath, he took again pestered Anand Ambani to take extreme efforts to illegally retrieve our bathing videos and naked videos before 5-6 years, where I stayed in apartments, and he had circulated it even to the Mumbai Hotel Palace Residency workers and nearby coffee shop owners when he stayed there in Mumbai for 7 months for follow-up with UAE to emotionally attack me. And this criminal have circulated throughout their big, large network of criminals of Rajatan murder case. Request Mukesh Ambani and Nita Ambani to please understand the high sensitivity of the crimes which these 3 criminals of this main filthy criminal Aswal Perisami is doing by taking extreme advantage and blind support of Anand Ambani. So this is one thing. So another point of view I want to convey about what kind of sins God would forgive, what kind of sins God would never forgive, and what kind of sins are less sensitive and what kind of sins are more sensitive. I want to convey, and both the addressed country leaders and Mukesh Ambani family members, you can just ask to yourself whether I said this right or wrong, logically and ethically, in front of the eyes of God. So there are lots of people in this world who accumulate large amount of wealth in various ways, either through righteous ways, through illegal ways, and then through most cruel sinful ways. So when they accumulate large amount of wealth, everything is not the same. Leave the righteous ways. When they accumulate large amount of wealth through righteous ways, God doesn't, it doesn't come into this category of sins. So people accumulate through illegal ways and most cruel sinful ways. First, when I say illegal ways, there are lots of politicians, very sophisticatedly sitting in their seats, MP seats, MLA seats, Chief Minister seats, and very easily they loot the people's money, government money, and accumulate the wealth for their children. That is a type of sin. This type of sin is not equal to the most cruel, unforgivable sin, which is some criminals trying to murder a widowed mother and her two innocent daughters to illegally loot their property to accumulate the wealth for their children, who will be just executed death punishment by the God for this such an unforgivable cruel sin. Why I am highlighting this type of sin? Because such an unforgivable cruel sin was only attempted in the 2nd July 2022 Delhi police murder attempt by the first death warrant criminal Sivakumar Velusamy and his wife Susi Sivakumar, and the equal death warrant criminal Shanmugam and his family members, and their other associated team of criminals of natural murder case. So this is what I will do. At this point of time, it will look like everything is okay, their children, everything is good. But this unforgivable cruel sin of attempting to murder a widowed mother and her two daughters to illegally loot their property, and then when that attempt went on failure, the next attempt of executing illegal termination of job of that only educated daughter in that family, and then cruelly spoiling their personal lives and professional, will all get accumulated only on the heads of the children and grandchildren of these two criminals of Nachatal murder case, which God would never forgive. Why I am saying this explanation to Mukesh Ambani family is because it is only your family who had been repeatedly misused by these two main criminals of Nachatal murder case through this criminal sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy by saying false reasons to Mukesh Ambani family members to take your support for executing 2nd July Delhi police murder, and again saying false reasons to Mukesh Ambani family members to execute illegal termination of my job. Because the very reason which would prove this most cruel sin of planning to the property looting motive against my family of a widowed mother and two daughters, the very live evidence is that multiple times I have sent emails which also have reached this filthy sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy and the two criminals of Nachatal that I will forgive all the so far sins done against my family. I will forgive everything. I clearly warn these criminals, do not attempt to do any further crimes in my e-way case. Do not try to illegally block the arrangement of my e-way job. I will give all those crimes till this point of time. And these criminals clearly knows that since I have given the promise in trying through both Tamil Nadu ruling politician and also through addressed country leaders through any of the contacts. These criminals are very much criminal, but till this point of all, very desperately, again they are extremely misusing Anand Ambani in doing repeated sensitive crimes in my e-way case for two reasons. First reasons, filthy property looting motive of these two criminals, criminal Sivakumar Velusamy family and the criminal Shanmugam Pilakal Thotam Shanmugam family, Pinadipoka. The second reason, with evidence which I can show to the Mukesh Ambani family and country leaders, is the extreme psychic obsession and psychic jealousy against my professional career, which this most filthy sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy have. He have extreme psychic obsession and psychic jealousy against my education and my professional career more than the property looting motive of the other criminals of Nachatal murder case. These criminals have both jealousy against my professional career and property looting motive, but this most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy have extreme psychic obsession and psychic jealousy against my professional career. So the main reason why I am saying this explanation, because it's only Mukesh Ambani family have been repeatedly misused by these three main criminals of Nachatal murder case by using the close friendship of this sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy with Anand Ambani, and they are getting blind support from Anand Ambani to do these crimes, and this is the original criminal motive. So now, till now, maybe Mukesh Ambani family might have done all these repeated sensitive crimes against my family for past 4.5 years without knowing the actual reason. You might have just given blind, okay, go ahead, do this. Due to some chain of contacts who would have recommended for these criminals, and after that, over the time period, Anand Ambani had developed a close friendship with Aswan Perisamy, and he has been blindly supporting for all the crimes of criminal Aswan Perisamy, who was saying cruel lies and wrongly projecting me to Anand Ambani. But now, at least now, Mukesh Ambani family have these 23 pages of my email with the true facts and evidences which proves the true property looting motive and filthy jealousy against my professional career of these three criminals. Where I have also attached evidence of my emails, where I have mentioned that I will repeatedly mention that I will forgive all the so far crimes, till this date. Let my family to live in peace. Do not do any further crimes in my eBay case. I had repeatedly mentioned it to these criminals, but for the only reason Anand Ambani is blindly supporting for the crimes of criminal Aswan Perisamy. Till this date, I have been facing repeated sensitive crimes in my eBay case, and that's why I request the addressed Islamic country leaders to take the true facts and evidences in this 23 pages of my email to direct attention to Mukesh Ambani family and their family members. This is one part. Another thing which I want to convey my point of view, which I strongly feel even the Supreme God would accept this point of view from my end, is that when you intentionally and deliberate, because till this point of time, Mukesh Ambani family, I feel they might have reason. Okay, we didn't know all these details. Somebody came, we gave support, fine. But now I have given all the details. I have also mainly reiterated the point that I will forgive so far crimes till this date. I will forgive everything. Let my family to live in peace. Do not do high sensitive crimes in any crimes in my eBay case. Do not illegally block the reinstatement of my eBay job. So in my point of view, when someone does a cruel sin against a woman victim, for example, a widowed mother and her two daughters, very intentionally, deliberately, knowingly, if they do such cruel sin against a widowed mother and her two daughters, I honestly say that even they are very wealthy person or anybody, just if they are on one side intentionally, knowingly doing cruel sin against a innocent woman victim, daughter of a farmer family, and then on the other side, even if they deposit crores of money or lakhs or millions or billions of money in the hundi of Tirupati, not even a single rupee will be accepted by the Supreme Court, not even a single penny. The one and only rectification of the sin done by such people, the one and only forgiveness that they can get from that Supreme Court is properly rectify your sin to that woman victim's family. So, what is the rectification? 4.5 years of our personal life had been lost, my professional career had been cruelly spoiled, our personal life had been completely lost, and there are some country leaders with great humanity, good-hearted country leaders who took genuine efforts for me, taking my facts and evidences to eBay company authorities, where eBay company authorities were also very much ready to give my job back in eBay company. They voluntarily proposed for mediation, very strongly reiterating that they are giving my job back in mediation. The only least thing I request to Mukesh Ambani family is to not to illegally block the eBay company authorities from reinstating my job in eBay company, because after the eBay authorities clearly promised me inside the court and outside the court that they are reinstating my job in eBay company. That's why they proposed for mediation. Again, this most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused Aswan Perisamy had repeatedly misused Anand Ambani by saying false reasons, misused his close friendship with Anand Ambani to repeatedly use different family members of Mukesh Ambani family. To repeatedly misuse different family members of Mukesh Ambani family, like Neeta Ambani one time, Akash Ambani, Isha Ambani, to influence eBay authorities to delay the mediation with false reasons, and then they cruelly cheated me in the end, saying that eBay company is not ready to settle the matter, they are not coming for mediation. I want to highlight to Mukesh Ambani families how this most filthy sexual crime accused is criminally misusing Anand Ambani. So he will say, every time he will say to Anand Ambani, first time for doing a sensitive crime in my eBay case, he will approach Neeta Ambani. So if he wants to again do some sensitive crime in my eBay case, he will go to Akash Ambani. Whatever information I am saying is the information conveyed from the secret informer. So far it is mentioned that Akash Ambani had been used to speak to topmost ruling politician of India to influence the judge, and Neeta Ambani had been used to influence eBay authorities to delay the mediation, then to cheat me in the end. And sometimes when they repeatedly approach Neeta Ambani, I think she might ask some questions. So at that time, he was asking Anand Ambani to talk to Isha Ambani, because Isha Ambani, it was told by the secret informer that Mukesh Ambani she's very close. They have a lot of affection on Isha Ambani out of 3 children. So he will ask Anand Ambani to ask Isha Ambani to talk to either Mukesh Ambani, Neeta Ambani, taking the repeated sensitive crimes. So none of them knows about what is the true facts of my EY case, what kind of cruel sensitive crimes this filthy sexual crime accused is doing against my family by misusing Anand Ambani. But he had been very criminally using Anand Ambani. Okay, this time you use Neeta Ambani. Okay, next time you go to Akash Ambani and ask, talk to the topmost ruling politician, influence the judge. And the next time if they ask question, please ask Isha Ambani to talk to Neeta Ambani or Mukesh Ambani, because they like her a lot. So if she speaks in support of it, definitely they'll give approval to do sensitive crime investigation. This is how it is going, because this is what the secret informer have told me. Whatever the secret informer have told me, I am saying it as it is. It's high time at least now both Mukesh Ambani family and the Islamic should know how this most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused is criminally misusing Anand Ambani to approach different family members of Mukesh Ambani family to do repeated sensitive crimes in my EY case. So the one and only 100% justified point which I am making to Mukesh Ambani and Neeta Ambani and their family members is that, which will be accepted by the God, Supreme God, is that to rectify your sin which you have done against my family for the past 4.5 years without knowing all the clear details. The one and only rectification I am saying is, please do not do any further crimes in my EY case. Please give a complete full stop for any further forgery email evidence submission attempt in my EY case. Please do not influence the judge. Please do not do any crimes in my EY case. Just if you say to EY company authorities, okay, we are not blocking you from giving registration of Satya and EY company, then that very moment EY company authorities would call me to register my job in EY company with the justified increment in my job designation and my salary. I swear on the secret informer that, and I swear on my late father that I'm making this promise to the other Islamic country leaders that it's the same secret informer who had given me authenticated alerts, who had very strongly conveyed to me that the UAE company authorities are ready to give the job at any moment, at the very moment Mukesh Ambani conveys to them that they are not illegally blocking UAE authorities to give me job back. So the secret informer very clearly mentioned that it's only the most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused who is repeatedly pestering and repeatedly misusing Anand Ambani to repeatedly stop EY company authorities from registering my job in EY company. So I made the promise because this is what is exactly conveyed by secret informer. This is how the events are also going. So Mukesh Ambani family, if you have any least respect for the God, please do the rectification of your sin which you have done against my family by not doing any further crimes in my EY case. The topmost request is that not try to attempt any further forgery email evidence crime attempt in my EY case. Do not influence the judge and do not block the EY company authorities from reinstating my job in EY company. And I have multiple times given the promise that I have the heart to forgive, and I have multiple times said that I will forgive all the so far crimes till this date of the criminals of Nachathal murder case, and I will stay by my promise, and I want my registration of my job in EY company, only after which I can focus on our personal lives. So having said this, another very important point I want to highlight to the Islamic country leaders is that all these three main filthy sexual crime accused and the criminals of Nachathal murder case have daughters. All these three criminals, criminal Sivakumar Velisamy, criminal Shamna, and criminal Asul Piri. All these three main Nachathal murder case criminals, who are the three main death warrant sexual crime accused, have daughters. All their daughters are either 12 years younger than us or 6 to 8 years younger than us. They have all married their daughters, very well settled their daughters. After settling down their daughters, for the only reason that we don't have our father, it's just my widow mother and we two daughters. These three main filthy sexual crime accused, on top of parallelly trying for property looting attempt, on top of doing high sensitive sexual crimes of seeing and circulating or bathing videos and naked videos which they have done through Anand Ambani. On top of doing this high sensitive sexual crimes, these three main criminals are doing repeated sensitive crimes in my EY case to delay the case hearings and trying to attempt forgery email evidence submission attempt and blocking UAE from reinstating my job for the one and only reason that we should not get married and we should not get settled in our personal lives and to cruelly spoil my professional career so that once our complete life is spoiled, they can achieve these two criminals can achieve their property looting motive and this most filthy psychic lapses sexual crime accused will have the psychic happiness of spoiling my professional career. This is the only motive. I request the Islamic countries, please imagine any woman victim who clearly knows this fact that the three main sexual crime accused have very well married and settled down their daughters safely. After that, for the only reason we don't have our father, they have been doing property looting attempt. On top of that, doing high sensitive sexual crimes against my family. On top of clearly submitting the evidence and circulating to the country leaders that such a high sensitive sexual crimes of illegal secret camera installation done in our village house and our rental house and circulation of our bathing videos, naked videos, such sexual crimes have been done by these criminals. They are again doing repeated sensitive crimes without any fear for the main motive that we should not get married and settled in the personal lives and should not restore back my professional career so that these three criminals can just see us like some entertainment thing on daily basis that just to watch us 24/7 to see us some entertainment thing. Please imagine any woman victim in this world will get very extreme anger under such a situation. Any woman victim will get very extreme anger against those criminals and that anger will not be only against these criminals but also to the people, influential people who are supporting these criminals, which is Anand Ambani and family members of Mukesh Ambani. Any woman victim, on top of doing sexual crime, they have settled down their daughters. On top of doing sexual crimes, they are doing repeated crimes in my case for the main motive that we should not get married and we should not get settled in our personal lives and I should not restore back my profession so that they can see us like some entertainment thing and torture us for their entertainment like that. That is the main motive of the filthy sexual crime accused Asaram Perisamy and property looting motive of criminal Sivakumar Velusamy and criminal Shanmugam. I swear on the secret informer that if the so far authenticated alerts given by the secret informer is true, I swear on the God that definitely before the death of criminal Sivakumar Velusamy and criminal Shanmugam, they will eyewitness the God giving much high sensitive sexual crime punishment to their daughters and God will execute a death punishment of their male children and their grand male children for whom they tried to execute 2nd July Delhi police murder attempt to murder my family to illegally loot our property. I swear on the gods that before the Sivakumar Velusamy and Shanmugam see their death, they will eyewitness the most cruel sexual crimes being done against their daughters and God will execute the death punishment of their male children and male grandchildren for their so far crimes and cruelly spoiling our personal lives and professional career. All the country leaders and also Mukesh Ambani family can mark my word for of the prayer I have made to God. So, having said that, the very reason I would like to highlight to the Islamic country leaders that the very reason why I got very extreme anger in recent days is that it is the same secret informer who have conveyed to my sister just before a couple of days that my late father, his soul is very extreme and he is very extremely angry against these criminals of doing such a sensitive sexual crimes against us and also on top of us doing repeated sensitive crimes in my case for the main motive that we should not get married and should not get settled in our life. I have an elder sister whose life is getting cruelly spoiled. So when my sister have conveyed such information from the secret informer, I request the Islamic country leaders, please imagine how extreme anger I would have got. Since only because that I am sitting as an incapable person of not doing any drastic thing, of not doing anything in my case to take my case forward. That's why my father is getting extreme anger against these criminals. If I am being a capable person and have done any drastic step, then at least I would do something to fix and to settle down my sister, right? So that emotional pressure also I have. So I would like to convey to the Islamic leaders. Last 2 times I have done camp lighting prayer with the betel life in my hand. Just when I imagine the kind of extreme, the main reason I am expressing this to the Islamic leaders, please understand the extreme sensitivity of the cruel sexual crimes and the cruel sins which these criminals are doing by repeatedly taking support of Anand Ambani. They have married and settled on their daughters. After that just for the reason that we don't have our father, on top of doing sensitive sexual crimes and circulating our bathing videos and naked videos like entertainment to their whole network. action in all the network they have circulated are bathing videos and naked videos. They cannot escape from the sexual crimes, and I will not stop getting death warrant for these sexual crime accused criminals. On top of doing that, they are repeatedly doing sensitive crimes in my UAE case to make sure that we should not get married and should not get settled down in our personal life, so that they can just watch us like some entertainment film and torture us for their entertainment throughout their life. And by the way, they can achieve their property looting motive after spoiling our personal lives. So the point I want to convey to the Islamic country leaders that I have already done 2 camphor lighting prayers with better life. There is a high chance that I am planning to do camphor lighting prayer in my bare hands to stop any further forgery email evidence uttered by UAE company authorities, where the UAE company authorities had given voluntary confirmation and repeated standpoint that UAE company does not have any leave approval email communication sent from UAE partner Ram Deshpande to me, and even in the court multiple times the UAE lawyer himself have also accepted that I have been sent one and only objection email only on January 2023 without any prior objection or intimation. So the UAE company authorities should not go against their voluntary confirmation repeated standpoint which they had made repeatedly both in the conciliation meetings until this point of time. So for that I am mainly doing camphor lighting prayer, and another main reason is to get completely justified expeditious hearing and yearly hearing to put up our case for every weekly hearing or at least once in 10 days, so that we can have a monthly 3 hearings so that I can quickly get justice in my UAE case. So the main reason why I am planning to do camphor lighting in my bare hand is that again secret informer alerted that the most filthy, psychically obsessed sexual crime accused Aswan Perisami is again started to repeatedly pester Anand Ambani to submit a very open and very high sensitive forgery email evidence. So that is one main point, and they are influencing the judges to postpone our case hearings like monthly one hearings like that. Since UAE authorities have really wasted solid 4 months of time, I have justified legal base to get expeditious hearing to put up our matter for every weekly case hearings or at least 3 times in a month. So this is one thing. So my main request to the addressed Islamic country leaders is please take this 23 pages of my email message with the facts and evidences. And my top request is that please convey to Mukesh Ambani to first to give complete full stop to any further forgery email, to not influence UAE authorities to submit any further forgery email address, because for that only mainly I am going to do the camphor lighting prayer in my bare hands, and to not influence the judges or UAE authorities to postpone the hearing. I have justified now legal base to ask for expeditious hearing to put up the case for every week or at least 3 times in a month, because I cannot live like this. No woman victim will live like this, like an entertainment thing for some sexual crime accused to watch us 24/7 and circulating our bathing videos and acres. No woman victim would tolerate that. So that's why I am taking this drastic step. I thought at least by seeing the blood on my hands, some additional Islamic country leaders would show some humanity and voice of support. So I would like to highlight a point to the addressed Islamic country leaders that initially it was my personal choice, like when we went to Delhi and when we could not get support from central government, the situation was getting worse. Initially I reached out to USA and the European country leaders, which was my personal choice. I could not get any humanity and voice of support from European country leaders. I had even reached out to France President, Italy, Germany, even Canada, those countries, Netherlands, many countries. And from USA, the secret informer himself said that they had been lot of times they had inquiring for my email petitions, embassy petitions, and also recorded voice call letter sent to USA Inspector General. This is so this is my petition sent to. This is the response I had got from US Defense in the year 2022 when I was sending the petitions. And I had even given response petition in a detailed format, which was shared by US Defense Team itself. But later, so that was my personal choice. But later again, the criminals of Nachatham murder case have used Indian Foreign Ministry to give true or false response to the inquiries from USA government, again by using Mukesh Ambani family only. I don't have to say anything, just ask Mukesh Ambani family. I know whoever have supported at that point of time. Just give truth-like investigation for the sexual crime accused Asokan Perisame. I'll take death punishment from country leaders. If in fact is true, they had used Mukesh Ambani family only to use a foreign ministry to give false response to USA government. So while that was going on, parallelly it was the secret informer who repeatedly advised me to reach out to Islamic country leaders. He used to give some country names as hint, Islamic country names as hint, and also other UN Security Council country leaders, which he repeatedly advised me to reach out to. So at the time, for USA and European country leaders, I had sent hundreds of postal letter petitions, email petitions registered in the embassies. Since he had repeatedly given keywords of some Islamic countries who would help me, so at that time I was sending email petitions. Because at that time I did not completely follow the advice of secret informer. So at the time I had been sending some email petitions only. So to Saudi Arabia, UAE and Turkey, Qatar. So in UAE embassy, Turkey embassy, I have submitted petitions, and Egypt, even Iran, Turkey, Kuwait, Bahrain, Algeria, so, and all Islamic country leaders. So at that time, so that was an advice from the secret service. As he advised, it did not go wrong. It did not fail. I did get protection and safety monitoring from the other UN Security Council country leaders, apart from USA, and some Islamic country leaders also. So it was like very strongly confirmed by the secret. Definitely, some of the Islamic country leaders, they have humanity and heart to help. So definitely they will help you. So that I have sent in 2022. Why I am sharing now is that the country leaders should not think that I am suddenly reaching out only now for help. No, the choice of reaching out to Islamic country leaders for voice of support is the choice advised by the secret informer. That's why I have today addressed this video message after 4 years, because sometimes I feel very guilty that I am repeatedly 2-3 country leaders are taking high efforts for me. I thought it would be helpful if the all Islamic country leaders mentioned by secret informer could give joint voice of support. It would easily resolve the issue. Even Iran war issue gets resolved in couple of months, right? Even wars comes to an end within 2 years or 3 years. But my family of my widowed mother and children have been extremely suffering for past 4.5 years from the never-ending crimes of these 3 main criminals of Nachat and murder case. So I very well know that UAE president have already taken genuine efforts, but what I want is all the Islamic country leaders to give joint voice of support for me, and I would feel hurt if only UAE president takes efforts. I want all other Islamic country leaders to give equal joint voice of support for me, so that Mukesh Ambani family members, at least even any one member, if they empathize our suffering and understand, all the crimes would stop. That is one important thing I want to convey. And my last message is to Anand Ambani. First thing I want to convey is that I honestly accept that I would have sent my angry emails, genuine angry emails, because of blind support given from Anand Ambani to this sexual crime accused Hassan Perisami. First point I want to convey is that as I'm preparing for this video message and typing this email itself, I very well know that the sexual crime accused Hassan Perisami would have started brainwashing Anand Ambani that, see, she is preparing this video message, you should not give support. I very well know that. 4.5 years my family have been extremely suffering. At least once I want Anand Ambani to please go through the 23 pages of petition with the crimes my family have faced, and I'm saying that I'm ready to forgive all the crimes. Please stop any further crimes in my eBay case. I request both Mukesh Ambani, Neeta Ambani and his family members, Anand Ambani, to please once go and check in my schools, to colleges and in my office, past cognizant TCS, everything. Please check about my character. We don't even wear, I don't even wear even sleeveless clothes. Okay, I don't even wear any skin revealing clothes. Just imagine, and my father upbringing and the strict nature, everything I have updated. even my enemy would not say a single bad thing about my character. When it comes to my character, my sister and my mother, even our enemy would not say a single bad thing. Check in our school and colleges and in our offices. So such a woman who had maintained a high ethical and moral principles in her life, who would not even wear sleeveless dresses, I request Anandamani, please empathize how a human, innocent woman victim would react when you are giving blind support for this sexual crime against husband patient to install illegal secret cameras in our village house and a rental house and circulation of our bathing videos and naked videos like an entertainment thing from their large network. You too have a sister, right? Anandamani also have a sister. So after doing such a sensitive crime to a pure and virtuous women, victim's family, you cannot expect that I should not get anger against you just because you are very rich and wealthy people and that just because we are middle class people. No, right? You should not, because whatever Anand Ambani is doing mistakes and crimes, the complete responsibility and accountability goes to Mukesh Ambani, Neeta Ambani and your upbringing. That is the true thing. I think he doesn't even have the maturity to understand what he is doing is a crime, because that is the kind of upbringing you have given for your son. I didn't mean to criticize anybody. Please empathize the suffering of a woman's family. So it's if it is, even if it is other type of girls who wear casual this thing, or if they not perfect in life, even for them also it's a sexual crime only. You cannot say like, okay, if it is some other characterless woman, it's not sexual crime. But for a woman victim's family who have high ethical moral principles, who have lived their life in a virtuous way and who don't even wear sleeveless dresses, please imagine their emotionally how they would feel, how extreme justified anger. So why I'm saying is that I very well know the sexual crime accused husband would have shown you all the angry emails. I very well know that of angry emails about you, but please once empathize that any woman victim would get such extreme anger, who have lived their life in such way when it is cruelly spoiled by the filthy sexual crime accused like Tumlasohan Pesa, who also have only daughter, because of the filthy sexual crime blood running through his veins, of the characterless blood and sexual crime nature running through his blood, and these two criminals, because of their characterless parents, because of that they are doing such sexual crimes which I cannot tolerate, and the root cause is the blind support given from Anandamani. So I request Anandamani, please once understand this. I don't have any personal enmity to anybody. Please don't do any further crimes in my eBay case. Please clearly convey to the sexual crime accused husband patient to not to misuse your friendship to do any further crimes in my eBay case. Mainly to give a complete full stop to any further forgery email evidence crime attempt in my eBay case and to not influence the judge. Thank you.